So it seems to me that the paradigm is changing a bit in terms of age in the lighter divisions among elite Eastern European amateurs who aren't turning pro until, Lomachenko came over here, is 26 years old. So is 31 the new 25? It's better than he's ever looked. And Devin Haney has, as you mentioned, not just that age advantage, but the size and the length. And yes, Devin, people are already saying, well, Lomachenko's not what he was. And then you don't get as much credit, Devin, as had you beaten him several years ago when you were campaigning for that fight. All that's true, and the world is an unfair place. We're coming out of an era, the Mayweather era, where the example that was set is that if you're the money man, you can pick and choose opponents, fight them when they're not too dangerous. Take Canelo when he's 22 years old, fight this one when he's older, minimize the risk, minimize the damage, and get out with all your money and all your marbles.
When Canelo lost to Mayweather, a lot of fans said that Canelo only lost to him because he was inexperienced. You're the same age as Canelo Alvarez was. Lomachenko is even younger than Floyd Mayweather was. But now all of a sudden they're saying Lomachenko is old.
Crawford older than and older than Loma. Is he old? No, they're not saying that he's old. So don't say Loma's old. Now all of a sudden he's old now that he's fighting me. But just a year ago he wasn't old. Now all of a sudden he got old overnight. No, I don't work like that. They know that when I win, I want the world to give me my just due. Put him number one on your pound for pound list. Put him above me on your pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Talk about how great he is and what he is, close to Muhammad Ali, this and that. Remember all that stuff that the media said and all that. Remember that, because on May 20th, I want the world to give me my just due. I want the world to acknowledge how great of a fighter I am.
When you hear people like Max Kellerman say, "Sorry, Devin, but you're not going to get the credit if you beat Lomachenko because he's old."
He's not old. He's 35 years old. Bud is 35 years old. How old is Bud? Yeah, Bud is 35, whatever. Yeah, he's not old. How is he old? When Floyd beat, how old was Floyd when he beat Canelo?
36.
36. Was he old? No.
Not at all. Devin, what do you tell those Mexican
I'm young.
fans?
Why don't y'all say, oh, this guy is young?
And Lomachenko said you like a heavyweight, but he never said that about Luke Campbell and Akhi, who are taller than you and bigger than you. So why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I'm a big lightweight at the end of the day. Loma, I don't know, he felt my size. He felt it when he saw me. He has fought taller guys, but at the end of the day, size doesn't matter when you get in that ring. Loma has beat bigger guys, and it shouldn't matter in the ring against me. We both weigh in at 135. We both make the weight, and at the end of the day, the best man is going to win on that night, and it's going to be me. Size doesn't matter.
Breaking news, Max Kellerman came out apologizing to Devin, telling Devin Haney sorry, but you are not going to get your full credit for beating Lomachenko. Like if you would have beaten him 4 years ago. Now, the irony of it all, Max Kellerman was also the same exact person that came out 4 years ago, defending Lomachenko for ducking Devin Haney, stating that Devin Haney needs to prove himself despite the fact that Devin Haney was Lomachenko mandatory. Even after earning the mandatory position, Max said Devin Haney doesn't deserve a Lomachenko fight. However, some way, somehow, Corolla did. See, what makes this so hypocritical by Max Kellerman is the fact that Max has been spitting the maximum hypocrisy on ESPN for the past 4 years, encouraging Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez to avoid the Devin Haney fight. All of a sudden, as soon as tables turned, when Devin Haney became undisputed, which is something that only Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez could dream of. That was their dream, is to become undisputed. The moment Devin Haney accomplished their dreams by becoming the first undisputed champion in the Four Belts era and the last undisputed champion since Pernell Whitaker, where now Lomachenko had no choice but to fight Devin Haney. Now all of a sudden, before the fight even takes place, Max is already telling the world Devin Haney is not going to get his credit if he beats Lomachenko. Like if he would have beaten him 4 years ago when he was campaigning for the fight. But the irony of it all, Max Kellerman started his own campaign against Devin Haney getting the Lomachenko fight and the Teofimo Lopez fight for the past 4 years. Max even went as far as telling Teofimo Lopez on his show he doesn't have to fight Devin Haney. Back when Teofimo Lopez was faking undisputed, Max was actually still calling him undisputed and even said that there were no other belts despite the fact that Devin Haney was the WBC champion. Max went as far as calling Devin Haney belt meaningless.
You're the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. There are no other belts because you're the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. But you've had a hard time making 135 the last couple of years. But you have some news on Teofimo's plans at 135 and 140. What is it?
He's also the guy with all 4 belts. He is undisputed. I feel obligated to mention that with all the other heat some of these guys get. But his plan is he figures he has 2 fights left at lightweight. So there's Ryan Garcia, which would make him a lot of money, and there's Devin Haney, who has one of the many meaningless WBC belts.
In addition to that, forget about Devin Haney being a part of the Fabulous Four. Max didn't want to see the fight. He was encouraging Teofimo Lopez to continue avoiding Devin Haney after he beat Lomachenko. So after years of Max Kellerman campaigning against Devin Haney getting the Lomachenko fight, now that the fight is happening 4 years later, Max Kellerman is telling Devin, sorry, you're not going to get your credit if you beat Lomachenko before the fight even takes place. Remember, this guy works for ESPN, and this fight is a pay-per-view fight on ESPN. So he's not even trying to sell the fight. He's trying to sabotage the fight. He's using his platform that ESPN gave him not to promote their own events, but to de-promote their own events, all to discredit Devin Haney. That's Max Kellerman's main agenda. The fact that Max Kellerman knows the truth, that Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney when Devin Haney was only 20 years old, back when Devin Haney was Lomachenko mandatory, where there are DNA evidence of Lomachenko ducking Devin Haney since the WBC stripped Lomachenko for avoiding his mandatory Devin Haney back then. That's how Devin Haney became a champion. So Max knows the fight couldn't happen 4 years ago because Lomachenko continued to avoid Devin Haney. You guys saw the press conference when Bill revealed that Loma manager told him 4 years ago Devin Haney will never get the Lomachenko fight. And after that, Lomachenko turned down the Devin Haney fight 3 times actually. However, on the 4th try, after Devin Haney became undisputed, finally Lomachenko took the fight. Despite all of this maneuvering by Lomachenko, Max want to sit up here and tell the world, sorry, Dev, you're not going to get the credit if you beat Lomachenko now. Like, if you would have beaten him 4 years ago, while knowing damn well Devin Haney couldn't get the fight 4 years ago, since Lomachenko was ducking him. And Max Kellerman was one of the main decaf wizards that encouraged Lomachenko to duck Devin Haney. He covered up for Lomachenko and even started a campaign to justify why Lomachenko avoided Devin Haney. It's like Devin Haney is damn if he do, damn if he don't. I mean, if this ain't the ultimate hypocrisy, I don't know what it is. That's why Max's new name is the Maximum Hypocrisy Kellerman on ESPN. That's officially Max Kellerman's new name. I mean, what else you want to do, Max? Erase Lomachenko loss again if Devin Haney beat him? Or perhaps you want to move it to the draw column? Or maybe you want to count it as an amateur loss. Talk about having the complexion for the connection to get the ultimate protection. Can you imagine if Lomachenko was black and he was another fighter on the coincidental list while Devin Haney happened to be white? Man, you wouldn't hear the end of it. The world will end. Max Kellerman will trash Lomachenko for ducking Devin Haney and getting stripped of the WBC belt. By doing so, he will mop the floor with Lomachenko all around the world. Remember, Max Kellerman is the same guy who knows the truth. However, he still chooses to lie instead when he's on ESPN. It ain't like he doesn't know the truth. Absolutely not. Max Kellerman actually knows the truth deep inside. However, he hides the truth in order to tell a lie to continue pushing his agenda. And that's one of the most dangerous men for society. Deception. It's one thing if you're not informed. However, if you are informed and still chooses to lie, that's what you call deception. That's the devil's favorite weapon. I mean, Max Kellerman for years lied to the public. Remember the whole Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao saga? Max Kellerman's still lying to this day, blaming Floyd Mayweather for the fight happening 5 years later, pushing the narrative that Floyd Mayweather aged Pacquiao out, even though Floyd Mayweather was older than Pacquiao. And 5 years later, after Floyd Mayweather beat Pacquiao, Pacquiao came back and beat Keith Thurman in his prime. But that's beside the point. The main point here is Max Kellerman knew that it was Manny Pacquiao who ducked Floyd Mayweather prime for prime by turning down the Floyd Mayweather fight twice. Not once, but twice. The first time Pacquiao turned down the Floyd Mayweather fight was at the peak of Pacquiao prime, supposedly, right? In 2009, Floyd Mayweather came out of retirement and he sent Pacquiao a 50-50 offer all around the board with $50 million guaranteed. Floyd Mayweather agreed to all of Manny Pacquiao terms. However, Manny Pacquiao still turned down the Floyd Mayweather offer, all because of a steroid test. That's right. In 2009, Manny Pacquiao turned down the Floyd Mayweather offer, all because of random steroid testing. Therefore, it was Pacquiao who ducked Floyd Mayweather prime for prime. 3 years later, in 2012, before Floyd Mayweather went to jail, he sent Pacquiao another offer, and Pacquiao still turned down that offer as well. It wasn't until 2015 where Pacquiao finally accepted to fight Floyd, after Floyd Mayweather walked up to him during the Heat game and even went to Manny Pacquiao Hotel. Therefore, Max Kellerman, he knew it was Pacquiao who ducked Floyd Mayweather prime for prime by turning the fight down twice. Even Pacquiao's own trainer, Freddie, admitted on tape it was Pacquiao who avoided Floyd Mayweather prime for prime. Therefore, Max Kellerman this whole entire time knew exactly what was taking place. However, he still continued to lie to the public, claiming that Floyd Mayweather was avoiding Pacquiao, that Floyd was scared of Pacquiao. As soon as Floyd Mayweather fought him, that's when Max Kellerman said the same thing he said about Devin Haney today when it came to the Lomachenko fight. Oh, Floyd is not going to get his credit because he aged Manny Pacquiao out, despite the fact that Floyd is older than Pacquiao, and it was Pacquiao who ducked Floyd Mayweather prime for prime. You see, this is what they do. Deception. This is nothing new. That's why it's called The Maximum Hypocrisy on ESPN. Remember, Max Kellerman lied for years on HBO, and he's still lying to this day, calling Manny Pacquiao an 8-division world champion, despite the fact that Manny Pacquiao is only a 6-division world champion. I already made a video on that. I'm going to leave the link for that video in the comment section below. You see, this is what they do. Deception. They create an agenda, then push the narrative with their old media machine, and it don't even have to be true. It could be a complete lie, but it doesn't matter because they have numbers. And with enough numbers, they deceive the public till the false narrative sticks. If you're in a room full of 100 people and 99 people believe that 2 plus 2 is equal 10. Now, despite you know that's not true, you're going to start questioning your own self like, hey, did I do the math right? And that's why you have to escape the matrix. You have to be a free thinker and not fall for the old media machine, the deception. That's how they deceived the public to believing that Pacquiao was an 8-division world champion when he's only a 6-division world champion. And that's how they deceived the public to believing that Floyd Mayweather avoided Pacquiao when it was Pacquiao who avoided Floyd. That's how they deceived the public to believing that Gennady Golovkin, Kovalev, Roman Gonzalez, Lomachenko, Canelo Alvarez, and even Inouye, that they were pound for pound number one when they never was. But back to the topic at hand. Max Kellerman was one of the main decaf wizards that pushed the narrative of Canelo Alvarez only losing to Floyd Mayweather because he was inexperienced. Now remember, Canelo was the same age as Devin Haney today. Devin Haney is only 24 years old. He just turned 24. Devin Haney only has 29 fights, while Canelo Alvarez, as a unified champion, had 43 fights back then. On the other hand, Lomachenko is actually younger than Floyd Mayweather. He's only 35. In fact, he just turned 35, while Floyd Mayweather was 36. However, the same guy, Max Kellerman, who said that Floyd Mayweather had the advantage because Canelo was green and unexperienced, all of a sudden, Max Hypocrisy Kellerman flipped the script when it came to Devin Haney and Lomachenko, where he's now saying the green fighter with no experience, Devin Haney, has the advantage over the fighter who has all of the experience in the world, Lomachenko, like Floyd Mayweather did. Like, wait a minute, you can't have it both ways. You can't just flip the script and play reverse narrative when Devin Haney versus Lomachenko is the exact same copy of Canelo Alvarez versus Floyd Mayweather. Old media kept pushing the narrative Canelo only lost to Floyd because he was inexperienced. This is the narrative you created, Max Kellerman. Hello? Is anybody home? Oh, that's right. The only thing home is the hypocrisy. You see, old media could try to deceive the public, create all type of narratives, push any agenda they want. However, their narratives end up overlapping each other and contradicting one another, which by doing so, they end up exposing their own narratives and agendas. And I just want you guys to know, remember, this is not what I said. This is what you said, Max Kellerman. This is your own narrative, so stick to it. Keep the same energy. That Canelo and Devin Haney are inexperienced. Therefore, Lomachenko has the upper hand. He has the advantage over the green, inexperienced fighter. You see, we never heard Max Kellerman call Floyd Mayweather old and little when he beat Canelo Alvarez, when in fact Floyd Mayweather was older and smaller than Lomachenko when he beat Canelo Alvarez. The only thing Max said, Floyd Mayweather had the advantage because he was more experienced. But with that same breath, the maximum hypocrisy Kellerman says the inexperienced Devin Haney has the advantage over Lomachenko because Lomachenko is old and little. I mean, why didn't Max Hypocrisy Kellerman say Canelo Alvarez had the advantage over Floyd Mayweather because he was younger and bigger than Floyd? Even Stevie Wonder doesn't have to wonder. He could see the hypocrisy and contradictions a mile away from Max Kellerman. The worst weapon in the world is a microphone and a camera. Max Kellerman was the same guy who said out of his own mouth, because Lomachenko came to the USA and turned pro at 26 years old, the 35 years old are going to be the new 25 years old in the sport of boxing. And we see it actually with Usyk. Usyk is 3 years older than Lomachenko. He's like 37, 38. And nobody said Usyk was old when he beat AJ and he's about to fight Tyson Fury. Nobody said Crawford is old when he's 1 year older than Lomachenko and he's about to fight Errol Spence. However, Lomachenko, who's younger than Crawford and Usyk, now all of a sudden, he's old. You can't make this up. Old media said Lomachenko is as great as Muhammad Ali, if not better. They told us he's better than Usyk. Well, guess what? Usyk had a mirror career to Lomachenko. They went through the exact same things, from the amateurs to the pros to the war. And Usyk, who's older than Lomachenko, is still looking better than ever. So, how is Lomachenko, who's better than Usyk, you guys said, all of a sudden old when you guys don't say Usyk is old? That's a rhetorical question. Contradictions, hypocrisies, and excuses are the new wave for old media. One thing for sure and two things for certain. Three things that could never be hidden are the sun, the moon, and the truth. They will always come out, eventually. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko,
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt. It's not a championship. It's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko are two sensational fighters who carry the industry.
Loma was the franchise champion. That's a way that the WBC has of stripping a guy without really stripping him. But then the regular champion is considered a notch below the franchise champion. But you say because you have that belt, you're disputing his Teo's claim to the title?
No, the franchise title is a way to duck your mandatory. I have mandatories. I'm the WBC champion and I have mandatories. When I was his mandatory, he petitioned to become a franchise champion to where he didn't have any mandatories. Devin Haney has mandatories. The franchise title is for ducks.
A franchise champion means you didn't have to fight your mandatory. That's a duck. So Devin collects the belt because what else is he supposed to do?
So when you say, you can't say Teofimo has all the belts or Teofimo's undisputed or Teofimo is the champion in the lightweight division because there's still one more belt. He has a franchise title. I'm the WBC world champion.
Do you believe at 20 years old you're ready for that type of challenge?
I think you said his name wrong. It's Lomachenko because he doesn't want to fight me. But it's I feel like I'm ready for the fight. This is the WBC mandatory. So Lomachenko, come on, man, let's get this fight going.
A lot of guys have said they want Lomachenko. You're the next on that list.
Lomachenko.
My mistake.